Hey, we're on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just finishing signing some Randy Rosarina and Austin Meadows cards for Tops. Uh, I'm Mark with JT, begrudgingly, with me today. We're going to be on Cards Jars talking about the debacle at Tops NBA Summer League and what to look out for to rip on Cards to Yards. Hello and welcome to Cards to Yards, a sports card and sports podcast. I'm Mark along with JT. JT, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Summertime is time for relaxation, obviously, unless you're trying to relax by going on vacation and being stuck at an airport for 24 to 48 hours waiting on flights. But if you are, you can watch all the Summer League action in NBA, so that's good. And I know that's probably like laughable to some people, but I find it fun to watch the up-and-coming rookies and all the draft picks and second-year players that maybe didn't get a real shot last year. So we'll get to that a little bit, some baseball going on. But we're going to start off, since this is a card show, we're going to start off with some news that puts Tops in a little bit of a bad, sticky spot.
A little hot water.
A little hot water. We all know that, like, the hobby has had some nefarious things going on, over the years, like card trimming and, some of the grading companies not being applicable or taking responsibility for that, or obviously forgeries over the years for super high-end cards or vintage stock that's maybe a little easier to do so. And I've also seen, maybe like some of the high-end 90s stuff, like the metal, people trying to even duplicate like the ruby cards from Fleer Metal and stuff, the Precious Gems red, but this one's a little bit newer because this is going directly through a distributor. So as you know, Topps was like at the top of the market last year, all set to go public on the stock market, and then Fanatics came in, took like almost all their licenses for the future when they were going to run out, waited for their price to cool off, bought them. So now they're owned by Fanatics, who's like the largest distributor of apparel and basically stuff to buy, and they're about to do like a full-blown takeover, making cards available in the stadiums, which is great, but people are worried about quality control. Well, this doesn't bode well for that. So someone found, and we'll try to put up a picture of it here because it looks ridiculous and really laughable. I'm assuming you've seen the card.
Yes.
But the card in question is a 2022 Topps Definitive Austin Meadows and Randy Rosarina dual sign serial number card. Hand signed, right? The cursive is immaculate, I'll say that. But having seen autographs of both of those players before, where they go like this, we're talking about like someone took like a third grade cursive class, like with the grid, and just drew it on there. I mean, Topps is not saying what happened. People have a bajillion guesses. What do you think about that situation?
I mean, that's something that we can all assume what happened, and I think it's pretty fair that most come to the same conclusion, but that's something that we'll probably never get an official statement about because it's just tough to get there on their side. It's pretty clear.
And the internet is filled with vitriol about everything, right? And you especially have breakers that take shots at companies like Topps all the time, so they're having a field day right now. I think it's slightly warranted only because, as we said, there's something clearly that happened, and it was a quality control issue. We know that as a society, we're overworked and underpaid, especially right now. So, like, if someone did this because they were understaffed at the time, I could find like 9 or 10 things to make it at least understandable.
Right.
Maybe not agree that it was allowed to happen. But, man, if you're doing like the last line of defense of like that going into the automated robot that puts in the pack,
right,
you got to go, wait a minute. Yeah. You have to go, wait a minute. I mean, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it is a ridiculous looking signature. I mean, it's fairly comical. And somehow, so everyone was enraged, right? And Topps and Fanatics, they're branded together now. So they did a dual release, and it was like, oh, our bad. Hey, guess what? If you find that card, now you get a sealed box of this product, which I believe is around $2,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the retail value right now, and you get a card of equal or lesser value. Now, I've seen people send stuff into Topps and get an equal or lesser value card, and usually they don't have their finger on the pulse of the market, we'll just say.
Yeah.
But I've also seen it work in people's favor. However, I don't know how much that card would have gone for. Maybe it's $100 card, maybe $200, but now it's worth at least $2,000.
Yep. It's funny how all this works out, right?
And a bonus autograph or
Yep.
signature, depending on what they want to give you. So now it turned into this infuriating thing, almost into a chase card. And the only thing I can really equate it to, if you remember this way back, 89 Fleer and the Billy Ripken, we'll just say F-face card.
Yeah.
And that is, you guys can look that up at home, but that is basically 89 Fleer, let go to print. Bill Ripken, who is probably most famous for either that or being the brother of Cal
Yep.
Ripken Jr., right? On the knob of the bat, someone had a little bit of fun, used some profanity. There was a second revision that was like white out, and then a third revision with a black bar. But the highly coveted one
The original?
is the original.
Unfiltered,
the
baby. Yeah,
unfiltered,
from the source.
uncensored 89 Fleer, Billy Ripken. It's fun to watch YouTube breaks of that one. It's a hunt for it.
Yeah.
For the famous curse word. And they even used that in the Neil Patrick Harris movie 8-Bit Christmas that came out on streaming last year. Basically, one of the kids involved in the story, they were trying to get a Nintendo. One of the kids found that card, went to a local card shop, sold it for $100, and put that towards the purchase of a Nintendo. This was back when it came out. So
Yeah.
that's how big that card was and is.
Yeah.
I don't think this one's going to get to that level. It's more of like a giant red flag. Are you worried about Fanatics being in charge of Topps and quality control issues like this coming out in the future?
I don't think I am. Because there's a certain, I would say, it happens with all of the producers, manufacturers of these cards. Some are known to be a little worse than others. However, pretty sure, Fanatics has been doing their thing for a long time. They're very well at it. That's why right?
Sure.
The market share they have in that sector and the distribution they have, obviously they're going to take full control of all of that. And I'm pretty sure they'll probably start dropping some hammers once the QA starts going the wrong way. And they want this to be profitable and going up, not just holding steady.
And that was one of the concerns. And people were guessing like they might buy Upper Deck, they might buy Topps, they might even go for Panini at some point. I think they're probably more disappointed in Topps because they've been doing this for a bajillion years now. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily know, as recently as the Fanatics deal was made, if Fanatics really had a hand in this at all. Again, there's no way to tell.
Right.
Like, we don't know what's going on with the corporate structure of this place. It's sort of like if a Starbucks bought a local coffee shop, how long does it really take to turn into a Starbucks type of thing? So,
exactly.
We'll see. I hope this is more of incentive for them to, like you said, drop the hammer and then prevent this kind of stuff from going forward. This is the most egregious one that I can think of in a while. So we'll see. Funny enough, the other big news comes about hand sign cards, right? And however, this is in soccer, which you've been telling people get on that now. Because even if the cards are priced high now, it's going to get hotter as the World Cup comes up. Big news is that Topps has picked up the license to one of the biggest teams out there, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, which happens to have Kylian Mbappe, one of the biggest stars. He is, for the first time ever, going to hand sign cards in their Topps Chrome PSG set. That's pretty big news.
That is. I mean, I have a lot of Mbappe. Obviously, nothing signed. So I think that's That's a right step. I mean, a PSG team set, and I know you'll go into a little bit more here. A lot of amazing vets, and in soccer, vets hold tremendous value, collecting wise. And yeah, I think absolutely phenomenal player. Just has really won the world over. There's not too many Mbappe haters out there.
Yeah.
No matter what team he plays for, there's always fans of Mbappe. I mean, the guy's an absolute animal.
Right. And I just remember the last World Cup being amazed. So now he's going to have 4 years of experience.
Yep.
He might give a repeat performance of that. But like you said, there's other players on that team as well. Now, this is going to be a box set. So the real chase is just going to be pre-ordering it online for less than probably
getting the
four grand or something. It's going to be a 40-card set. You're This is where you know the price is going to be high. You were guaranteed 20 autos. 20 on-card
And who are
autos.
some of those autos?
Obviously Mbappe, but you're also, per box, guaranteed at least one Mbappe, one Messi, and one Neymar Jr.
There you go.
Not to mention the base and the parallels. Every card is going to be numbered to 99 or less. Only 270 boxes exist. This will be a high-end product. I kind of like that box set. To me, 20 autographs is almost overwhelming.
It is.
That is like an insane amount of autographs in a tiny little box. But if you get Mbappe or Mbappe numbered,
Yeah,
you're gonna
I
do
mean,
well.
yeah, absolutely. And it takes in a box set like that where you're guaranteed that many autos.
yeah.
And you kind of know you're getting. Does it take some of the fun away? At that point, are you more just buying, knowing what you're getting, investing, and be like, all right, cool, I have it now.
I think it's kind of like all these super high-end products that come in briefcases now.
Yep.
Like y'all did a Star Wars break earlier.
Masterworks
Masterworks.
or Solar Signature, excuse me.
Yeah, so you know you're guaranteed like all the cards, but you don't know is it going to be numbered out of 100 or 50 or 15 or 1 even. So yeah, I mean, I think with 270 boxes, by the time the checklist hits the market, people are going to be looking for any version of the Mbappe, but especially like if there's a 101 or a 505 or Topps Chrome are beautiful cards. And that's probably what people are most excited about the purchase of, Topps by Fanatics is someday we're going to get Topps Chrome football and basketball again. So Topps Chrome is a great product for one of the biggest stars in probably the biggest sport in the world.
Yep.
To have their first ever hand sign autos. Just don't sign it in cursive and have it look exactly like Messi and Neymar's signature.
Yeah.
Now another a little bit of card news out there. How much would you pay for a pack of 93-year-old bubblegum?
I'm going to go with about 25 cents.
Like, are you a bubblegum enthusiast? Because I wouldn't pay anything for that. And if you saw a picture of the bubblegum, it's gross. But this bubblegum is actually attached to a still in the wrapper Babe Ruth. And I call it wrapper because it's almost like a pastry bag. Like, it looks very thin. But there was this set back from 1929 called Headliners and Gum. It's also known as Star Player Candy because the cards were so rare that they knew they came with candy, but they didn't know what company they came from. Well, there was a warehouse find a few years back by the company that made these cards. So the official name is Headliners and Gum. They've had these trading card sets kind of floating around the market. Back in that warehouse find, they had 4 packs with Babe Ruth on top. So that's not really something we see nowadays. The closest thing I can think is like the Topps team set blister packs, but you know who you're getting in that. But just imagine if you had like a 1980 Topps football cello pack with Walter Payton on top or something like that. But this is a 1929 Babe Ruth card, so it's untouched by human hands. I mean, unless someone put it in there way back, which they probably did. The only record sales, like 2 of the 4 have sold in the past, and it was for like less than 10,000 each, but that was in 2008, 2009. This one is on Heritage Auctions for their July sports sale. It ends July 21st. It's already up to 27 grand. So that's a
Already.
lot to pay for gum. The only
Yeah.
question I have is the person that gets it, if they open the pack, are they going to eat the gum?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like they need to do that. Do you watch
It's,
card breaks where they eat gum? I see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can only imagine what something tastes like at that time, especially because it's just going to dissolve. It's going to
It's
be
fine.
sand.
I think it's fine. It's just nitrates. I mean,
Yeah.
like this looks like you could eat the wrapper and still be fine because it's just like that clear like wax paper.
Yeah.
But I guess the real question is, do you immediately take that card out? Like, do you wait to open it till you're like at the PSA drop off counter and you go, here you go?
That's a hand delivered one. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah. So now some sports news that may affect the hobby. I mentioned Summer League. I'm enjoying watching the Rockets play. They're 2-2. Look a little rough at times, but it's basically a scrimmage. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Summer League's great to just. I have it
yeah.
on all day, and I'll tune over and watch a game. We have it in the store. It's always on. You can watch some great players
Yeah.
that are going to do big things soon, especially
Right.
some of these guys.
And Paulo Banchero, he's been shut down by the Magic because they probably just don't want to risk injury.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the hottest guy for the Rockets was Josh Christopher, who was a first rounder last year in that group before we got last year. He went out with a hip injury. But Jabari Smith looks really good.
Yeah.
Tari Eason looks like the guy's got a motor that will never quit. And Ty Washington looks like a serviceable point guard, just like we
Yep.
said when we talked about the draft. So it's just fun. There's some other things going on. One thing is that the Pacers made an insane offer sheet to DeAndre Ayton, $133 million for 4 years. I think it took about 3 minutes for the Suns to match it.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing though. If you remember, I think we said this last time, Durant, one of the teams they listed is the Suns. Well, Ayton would have had to be in that deal, and now because Ayton signed that deal, he cannot be traded till January 15th. We talked about this before about if I was the Nets, I would just let Durant sit. But I mean, I know as a franchise, they would probably get pressure from the NBA front office, to be
Right.
honest. But now that's kind of a question. And we had also talked about, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert reportedly were not getting along. They traded Gobert, got a great package of future draft picks for him, and now they're going to trade Donovan Mitchell. So I don't understand what's going on in Utah.
Yeah, I've no clue. I mean, it's everything so far has been somewhat out of the blue, and you look at their long-term picture and where they go, and it's,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do at this point?
Well, I will say the media is trying to will Donovan Mitchell to New York as
Yeah.
hard as they possibly can, and apparently R.J. Barrett wouldn't even be involved in that deal. So I don't know exactly what package the Jazz get back, but it's kind of crazy to me. I mean, I thought he was. I mean, I know he's their star. Some would argue Rudy Gobert is more important or better because he's probably you just have talent like that lacking at center
Mm-hmm.
in the NBA specifically. But to trade both of those guys,
It's pretty wild.
I don't know what's going to happen, and to not hear Donovan Mitchell mentioned in any kind of scenario like a 3 or 4 team 4-way deal.
Yep.
To get Kyrie Irving or Durant out of Brooklyn is also a little odd. So we got that going on, and then MLB, about to hit the All-Star break. Astros got 5,
Yep.
which is the second most behind the Yankees, and I think tied with the Dodgers for 5. Unfortunately, Jordan was one of those 5. He is still nursing that hand, so he's going to be missing not only the game, but I would assume he would have been just the front runner for the
chewing.
home run
Yeah.
derby. Yeah. And so we have Tucker, Fromber, Justin Verlander, and Altuve. And as far as I know, they will compete. Altuve was just hit by a pitch. It was in the leg. He had to leave the Angels game. But the Astros are still on fire. Won 7 out of their last 3. The Mariners are more on fire. Have won 11 in a row, and
Mariners are hot.
but still 11 behind
Yeah.
the Astros. So it'll be interesting. I love the All-Star break. This year, there's 2 legacy picks. Albert Pujols, Astros killer. Last time I looked, I want to say he had like 12% of his home runs against the Astros or something insane like that. But remember, he followed them from division to division. Yeah. I mean, even when they moved to the AL, he went to Anaheim. So he has made sure for most of his career to be in the same division as the Astros. And then Miguel Cabrera. So I think that's really cool. And Albert Pujols is actually going to be in the home run derby. Although a lot of people are probably more excited about Julio Rodriguez just because of the breakout season he's having. So you're going to have like a 42-year-old against a 21-year-old in the home run derby. And then I would think Alonso from the Mets is probably the favorite since he's won the last two.
Yeah.
But
It's going to be a good one.
yeah, it'll be a good one. And the other tidbit of news, for just the fifth time a pair of brothers makes the All-Star game. That's going to be the Contreras brothers, William from the Braves and Wilson for the Cubs. Can you name any of the other four pairs of brothers?
Oh, man. That's on the spot.
Yeah, it is. Because I'm just testing it.
Brothers. No.
I'll give you one
If
hint.
I had more time, yeah.
I'll give
me a
you
hint.
one hint. The more famous brother of the two had a song written about him.
I'm searching.
By Simon and Garfunkel.
Uh-uh.
And may or may not have been married to one of the famous actresses of all time. Okay, we'll stop now. Joe and Don DiMaggio. Did you even know? Did you know Joe DiMaggio not only had one major league brother, but two?
I wasn't thinking back that far.
Yeah, Joe and Dom, they made it. Going back even further, Mort and Walker Cooper. I feel like you could have gotten this one, Roberto and Sandy Alomar. I know that's still way back, but they probably still have cards circulating around, and also don't want to forget Dixie and Harry Walker. So obviously, three of those were way back. So that's but that's cool though, Contreras brothers. So. But yeah, and just so everyone knows, Joe DiMaggio had brothers that played also. So who won that deal? But
Yep.
Oh well. So now some new and recent releases. What's going on at the shop, and what are people looking to break?
The hottest releases currently, we had NBA Prism last week. Obviously a very popular product. Great rookie class as well. Followed by NFL Chronicles 21 came out yesterday. And Chronicles, again, is a set that pulls from almost all of the sets that came out throughout the year. A lot of cool cards. It is a fun product. You get to see a lot, and I mean, from scoring on. Score's usually the first one out, and besides some of the collegiate stuff, tons of different sets, tons of different cards. And then we have Topps Tier 1 basketball, right? Baseball. That's coming out. Tier 1's really cool. It's an amazing looking product. They killed on that one. And then that's it. I mean, they're all super hot. Between Prism and Chronicles itself is blowing it out of the park. We do have Topps Pristine, came out this past week, is baseball as well. Really good looking product for the price. It's awesome. You're getting 2 autos and 1 auto relic.
Yeah.
Out of a box, and they're awesome. They come individual. You get an encased out of it. Super cool. And then, yeah, basketball Prism though. Those are flying. People are getting on those.
Well, that's just a few things that are out right now or that come out recently. Let's go to Lou on the floor at Adventure Stadium to see what else is hot.
Appreciate it, Mark. All right, guys, this is our new session. It's called Hold or Fold with Lou. All right, so in this type of session, we're going to talk about just a few things. What kind of cards should you be going for? Who's hot? Who's not? Who you should fold? Who you should hold? So, starting us off here, just to give you guys a small little brief thing on this, is that I'm going to pretty much go through a few months and tell you, hey, look, this is the sport you should be holding. This is the sport you should be selling at this time of month. There's certain things over the timeline of the year that should tell you, hey, look, maybe I should sell these cards, or maybe I should buy these cards. It's like the stock market in a little way. So, you see it going up, it's a good time to go ahead and, wait for it to peak and sell. You see it going down, good time to buy in. Look at it that way. So, in the month of January, typically is a good time to buy baseball and sell like football, basketball. What's happening? You have to ask yourself what's happening in these months. So in like, let's see here. Let's throw a good month out there. June. Oh no, July. July, right? July is a good time to buy football, basketball, and sell baseball. A lot of people are like, well, why sell baseball? Well, sell baseball in the month of July because we're right there before the All-Star break. All-Star break, generally you get a good idea of who's going to really, really do good. Who's your highs, who's your lows. And then football, the reason why is because this is our last month with no football. So stocks are starting to go up. You want to start buying right now before preseason kicks in. Now, there is a risk when you do buy a little bit prior. You have things such as injuries kick in. Could really doom a player. Torn ACLs happen all the time. So make sure you do you guys' research on there. Super Bowl typically happens in February. You want to go ahead and sell. You want to hold generally football and try not to buy because right now they're spiking. Super Bowl things, the championships games, you generally want to buy before that. All right, so in this part right here, I'm going to talk to you guys about maybe one player that has gone cold over the last 30 days, 60 days. And that player right there is Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole going into the playoffs for the Warriors was really, really hot. Cards were skyrocketing to about $1,000 for, I think, a PSA 10 rookie. Silver. And then they get into the championship, and he gets not a lot of playing time. What happens there? Everything starts dumping. It happens. It's the market. It's up and down. So that's one of my cold players. Right now we're in the off season. You need to go and hold. Start buying some more basketball so we going into the new season, and you get them at a good price here. All right, we have DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray, all right, if you follow your NBA news, DeJounte Murray was traded from the Spurs to Atlanta. All right, in Atlanta, they have Trae Young. You're going to have your 1 and 2, DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, going ahead and making all the head honcho calls here. DeJounte Murray, his prices have skyrocketed up 35 to 45%. Over the last couple weeks since the news came out that he was being traded. This is somebody you guys do want to grab. If you're looking for his rookie card is 2016. Yeah, I think 2016 rookie card. Grab him now before the season starts. All right, our next person we're going to be talking about is good old Zion Williamson. Yes, you heard that. Zion Williamson. He didn't play the whole last year due to injury. Everybody was making fun of him because he was putting on some weight, eating good down there in New Orleans. All right, that's fine. That's why you have athletic instructors that get you back into shape. Zion Williams is back up and running. He is showing everybody that he is doing well. He's still got it. He is promising everybody that, hey, I'm about to do my thing. And he just signed a big contract. So, Zion Williams, start collecting them now while you can. Now this one's a little bit of a no-brainer for baseball. We got Shohei Ohtani. I mean, if you guys have been watching baseball, this guy is the truth. Pitch, hits. I mean, dude, he's. I think he's got like 19 home runs and maybe 50 something RBIs going into the break, which is really great. Of course, another All-Star game. I don't think that he's on the home run derby list this year. He may. I mean, why not, right? But Shohei Ohtani, definitely not untouchable. What I mean by that is that his cards are not crazy, stupid high. You can still go out there, get yourself some before the All-Star break happens, which is in a few days. Another player, which may be kind of weird, is Baker Mayfield. I mean, lots of news surrounding Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns just traded him to the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers play the Cleveland Browns week 1. Do you think Baker is not going to go ahead and take full advantage of that and show them, hey, this is what you let go of? He has Sam Darnold to compete with, which, I mean, it's not really much of a challenge. And he has, I believe, Matt Corral, rookie quarterback that they drafted from UNC. So I think Baker Mayfield will go ahead and prove his veteran position and take first team snaps here. His optic cards can be found, his rookie optic cards can be found for $50 to $70. PSA 10s could be somewhere around $130 to $145. I highly suggest you grab some. Right now, we're still in the offseason. This is your last couple weeks to grab football while they're still low. Myself, I've invested myself into A.J. Brown and Marquise Brown before the whole trade happened, and I was able to get myself some really good cards. And that's myself investing on predictions of them doing well with their new teams. All right, and just a little bit of cardboard wax. If you're holding to see if it goes really well, I'll tell you what I did. What I did is I held on to a few Prism football boxes, some Obsidian, and I held on to maybe 1 or 2 of the new Chronicles that just released. Why is that? Well, let's look at it. 2022 does not have a great offensive draft class. Great offensive draft class? No. So, a lot of people are going to be reverting back to 2021 and 2022. Or 2021 and 2020 draft classes, which were real heavy in our offensive draft class, especially with quarterbacks. A little bit of projections I have. Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to shine. That's why we're going to come back to 2021. His is a must grab. His stock, of course, is a little, it's up there, but you could still get yourself some nice Trevor Lawrences out there. Please invest in him, as well as Herbert from 2020, and as well as Joey B from 2020, Jalen Hurts from 2020, and I'm a little bit on the cliff with Tua. Tua has the weapons. Now, it's for him to apply that all together to make it all work and gel. So, 2022 draft class or season is just not going to be as great. So, don't go too hard into that class. Start investing your money into 2021 and 2020 football at that. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to touch bases on some key movers, some holds and some folds, giving you my personal advice from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, the news. I have access to it just like you guys do. So please go and do your research and make your own predictions. My projections are probably not 100%, but it's just going by my hunch feeling. So until next time, I'll have another hot and cold session for you guys. Hold the fold with Lou. I'm out of here.
All right, thanks, Lou. Well, JT, thanks again for being here with me on Cards to Yards. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Let's do our word of the day for collectors who maybe either new or haven't heard one of the words that or something that we talked about that popped up, and they're like, "Huh, what's that?"
What do we got today?
Today I'm going to go with on-card auto because
nice.
I think it's confusing for new collectors to be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. There's an auto on this card.
On this card. What do you mean?
Sometimes you look at it, you can obviously tell there's a sticker. Sometimes you can't, but a lot of times they use sticker autos when they can't send a representative to have a player sign right in front of them, or don't have the card ready for that player to sign. But when they do, they'll send them the actual card and they'll sign it. And like we mentioned with the Mbappe, more desired than a sticker. Because a sticker could be signed like a year or two in advance and put on any card. On card auto, that player touched that card, signed it, it goes straight into the pack. So that's all we got for Cards to Yards this week. Coming to you from the Adventure Stadium in the top of Adventure Begins. So come check it out. Talk to Lou and JT on the floor and rip open some packs. So we'll see you next time on Cards to Yards.
Let's do it.
Well, gang, that's all for today's episode. So join us next week. Cards to Yards, brought to you by the Adventure Stadium and the Adventure Begins. Again, we're located off 1488 and Woodland Square Boulevard. See you next time.